Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Grace, and today I'm actually going to be going over a fragrance haul from Sephora. They had their VIB sale. It was that time of year again, so you know I had to take advantage of it. And I finally received my last package, so I'm super excited to show you guys what I got. Some of these fragrances I purchased online, so they were blind buys because you weren't able to even smell them in store. And then some of them I was able to smell in store, tried them out, fell in love, and decided to take advantage of the sale and go ahead and purchase them as well. Now I am going to be going over main accords and notes for these fragrances, but this is going to be more of a fun haul, giving you guys some thoughts on why I purchased the fragrance and what I like about it. So this isn't necessarily going to form my final thoughts because most of these I am going to be smelling for the very first time if I didn't already do so at Sephora. And so this is not a review, it's just more for fun. And if you are curious to see what I bought, and if you're here to see just the haul and my first thoughts, then definitely stay tuned and keep on watching. So the first thing I picked up was Red Hibiscus Intense by Jo Malone. I love the packaging of this. I think it's stunning. Both the bottle, the box, it's just absolutely stunning. Now, I don't own any other Jo Malone fragrance, and I believe this is a newer fragrance if I'm not mistaken. Please comment down below if you know any better. But I fell in love when I smelled this and I just had to get it. This has main accords of floral, white floral, vanilla, sweet, yellow floral, amber, and powdery. Then it's got top notes of ginger, mandarin orange, black cardamom, mid notes of jasmine, hibiscus, black orchid, ylang ylang, and water lily. And then we get the base notes of vanilla, amber, and incense. But the incense in here is really well blended. You can barely detect it. This smells rich, fruity. You can smell the floral notes, but that's what makes it very feminine. And I think this is perfect for spring and summer. Now these two I've been wanting for quite a while as well. I got the Princess Killian Eau Fresh version, and then I got the regular I Don't Need a Prince by My Side to be a princess version, which honestly they're both called the same thing except one is the Eau Fresh. We're going to start off with the first one here, which is just the I Don't Need a Prince by My Side to be a princess. This has main accords of powdery, sweet, green, warm, spicy, and then notes of marshmallow, matcha tea, and ginger. In my opinion, I don't think this is too sweet. I think it's very soft, very elegant, and very light. Even though it's got marshmallow in there, I think what really balances it out is probably either the ginger or the matcha tea that's in here. But I think this fragrance is really well blended. Now, I wasn't sure if the Eau Fresh version was going to be very similar to the original Princess. This has main accords of citrus, warm spicy, fresh spicy, sweet, green, powdery, fresh, and aromatic. So even though this has some different main accords, it's still keeping the same main accords from the original one. So the warm spiciness, the sweetness, the greenness, powdery, those are all the same from the original. And the notes, they're also the same, except that this one has bergamot, which is probably why there is more freshness to this. It gives you just a more citrus vibe in the opening, and it smells so good. It's delicious, just like the original one. And even though they're very similar to one another, I still like them both. They still have a slight difference that I like about each one. So, those are just my first thoughts on both of these fragrances for now. And next up, we have the Seven Virtues Amber Vanilla, which is the newest one that just recently came out. Then we also have Cherry Ambition, which I love cherry notes, so this one I had to get. And then Vanilla Woods, which is the oldest one of the bunch. So let's get started with the first one here, Amber Vanilla, which is the newest one. This has main accords of musky, amber, woody, powdery, and vanilla. And then we have notes of pink pepper, middle notes of carnation and lily of the valley, and then we got base notes of ambroxan, isoe super, musk, and vanilla. Now this is really soft and light, which is what I like about this fragrance. And to be completely honest, the very first time I went to Sephora and I smelled this, I wasn't able to smell anything at all. And I don't know if it's because I smelled other fragrances or whatnot, but that's the first impression that I got, is that I smelled nothing. Now, as I continued to go to Sephora and try it again, I did smell something completely different, and that's when I started getting the sweetness and the pink pepper to this, because you do get that pink pepper, but it smells so good. Now when I smell it, it's just ever so light, ever so soft. I really enjoy this. I really like it. That's the main reason why I got it. Now, I absolutely love cherry notes, and Cherry Ambition was actually on my wish list for a while. This has main accords of sweet, cherry, amber, warm spicy, powdery, woody, soft spicy, vanilla, musky, and metallic. And honestly, the cherry in here is really well done. This has top notes of cherry, pink pepper, marshmallow, mandarin orange, and then mid notes of saffron, cherry blossom, orris, and osmanthus. And then we have base notes of vanilla, frankincense, guaiac wood, amber, and musk. So it's really lovely, it's really well blended, and I really enjoy it. Next up is Vanilla Woods, which is also another fragrance that I've been wanting. It's been on my wish list for quite some time, but this has vanilla, sweet, caramel, amber, powdery, fruity, and balsamic main accords. And it's got top notes of pear, middle notes of rose, base notes of caramel, amber, and vanilla. And honestly, the Seven Virtues is very affordable at Sephora. You can definitely find that all of these fragrances are very easy to use. They're just very light and soft. And these are the ones that I mostly wanted. There are still some that are in my wish list from the Seven Virtues, but for now, these are the ones that I got. Next up, we have Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry 48. This one has actually been on my wish list for the longest time ever, and I decided that it was time to go ahead and get it. This has main accords of woody, sweet, amber, vanilla, aromatic, balsamic, fruity, and citrus. I won't go over all of the notes, but definitely the top notes here are raspberry, bergamot, burning cherry, and you can definitely get a slight difference from this one compared to the Seven Virtues one. I think this does have a little bit more woodiness to it, but there is something very soft about this fragrance as well. This has been on my wish list for quite some time, and I always just held back from getting it because I thought it was very similar to other fragrances that I already own. However, I love cherry notes, and I decided to finally just get it because of the fact that I just love cherry notes and I want to have a variety of cherry note fragrances in my collection. So there it is, you guys. There's really no other reason than I love cherry notes. And next up, we have Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. Now, I'm not one that keeps up with the Miss Dior line, and I'm actually not a huge fan of that line to begin with. However, this one I really do enjoy. And I was actually really surprised that I even liked this type of scent. However, I think this also, in my opinion, is a little bit different from the original Miss Dior DNA, and it's not as sharp as what I think the original Miss Dior line smells like. It's just a little bit sharp for me, but this type of floral is very warm, it's very fruity, it's sweet, and you got that freshness as well. So I think it's perfect for spring and summer, and I just had to get it. Another one that's been on my wish list is Boardwalk Delight by Skylar. This definitely has the notes that I absolutely love for spring and summer. It's got that coconut, that cotton candy, the vanilla. It's super sweet, and even though it may lean a little bit more youthful, I'm in my early 30s and I don't think I cannot wear this out, but this is absolutely one that I love. Now, I also had to get the new Donna Born in Roma Green Extravaganza from Valentino, and then the original Valentino Donna Born in Roma. Now, this new one also has this black tea note that I absolutely fell in love with. It still has a similar DNA to the original, however, that note makes it stand out from the original. Now, the original here, I had to get the full bottle because I had the travel spray for the longest time ever, and I just decided that it was full bottle worthy. And everybody has smelled Valentino, but if you haven't gotten a chance to smell the new green Stravaganza one, I would suggest you do so. It's really pretty. I think it's perfect for spring and summer because it's got that freshness to it, and I think it's because of that black tea note that it has. And of course, you can never go wrong with the original. Now, the two that I chose to blind buy were Brown Girl Jane Dawn and the Casablanca one as well. I thought they had interesting notes, and honestly, I was not disappointed at all. I think both of these are really pretty scents. Now, Dawn has main accords of vanilla, amber, powdery, floral, aromatic, soft, spicy, fruity, aquatic, green, and fresh. This has top notes of raspberry bloom, cassis, and water lily, mid notes of violet leaf, iris petals, and amber, and then base notes of vetiver, bourbon vanilla, and Madagascar vanilla. And honestly, I think this is very, very nice and sweet, and it still holds that freshness, and I really enjoy it. Now, on the other hand, Casablanca has main accords of powdery, warm, spicy, musky, amber, sweet, woody, leather, floral, balsamic, and smoky. I definitely was not expecting anything leather in here, but it does have top notes of marshmallow, cardamom, and incense, mid notes of suede, vanilla orchid, and saffron, and then base notes of sandalwood, musk, and amber. And honestly, there is a slight leathery note in here that makes it stand out a little bit different from Dawn, but I still like it. I will have to try this out and see how it works with my skin. I'm not 100% sure that I enjoy that suede note in there, or it could be that incense. However, for the most part, I'm not disappointed yet. But I think Dawn was a hit. Casablanca, I'll have to try a little bit more and see if I do end up liking that suede and that incense note mixed with the saffron, and see if I do end up liking it. Now, another cherry note perfume, Juliette Has A Gun, Juliette. Now, let's start off with the packaging. I think the packaging is absolutely beautiful. It's just got this white cover on the box, but the box itself is just blacked out, and it's absolutely sturdy. As you can see, it's kind of even hard to take it out. I do not own any other Juliette Has A Gun perfume, but this was the exception because of that cherry note. The main accords are cherry, white floral, sweet, musky, nutty, woody, almond, amber, powdery, and fruity. And we got top notes of sour cherry and pink pepper, mid notes of jasmine, and then the base notes of cashmere and tonka bean. And this definitely has a different type of vibe when it comes to cherry. It's not your typical cherry. However, I think it's still really pretty, and I think this will work well during the spring and summer months. I don't think this is a heavy sweet cherry, and I really enjoy when cherry is mixed with pink pepper because it gives it a different vibe than just mixing it with your typical almond. So yeah, I'll definitely have to try this out in the winter as well and see how I like it. And next up is Dior J'adore L'Or. Hopefully I pronounced that correct because I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. But this is really, really nice. The main accords that this has is white floral, floral, violet, and fresh. And you can definitely smell the floral in here. It's really, really nice. It's not your typical floral. This is not screechy whatsoever. This is very soft and elegant. The notes that it has are jasmine, orange blossom, violet, lily of the valley, and rose. But I think there is something else in here that's making it really nice and sweet, that it's just probably not noted in Fragrantica. However, ever since I smelled it, I fell in love with it and I had to get it. And the last cherry note fragrance of the day is YSL Black Opium Over Red. This has main accords of vanilla, cherry, sweet, white floral, coffee, warm spicy, citrus, patchouli, powdery, and balsamic. Now I'll just go over some of the main notes here. Obviously the cherry, it's got green mandarin, it's got black tea, coffee, Madagascar vanilla, and I think it still holds the original DNA from the Black Opium line, but this does dry down with a cherry. And it's really hard to explain because that cherry note doesn't last too long at the top. However, when it dries down, you do get that original DNA, and then you still slightly get that cherry note as well. hard to explain, but I really like this as well. And it's different enough from the original where I could include it in my collection and grab it during the sale. And that wraps up this haul, you guys. I enjoyed smelling every single fragrance in this haul. And while doing it, letting you guys know my first thoughts and some of the notes and what I thought about them. But what did you guys get during the Sephora VIB sale? Did you guys buy any fragrances? Anything else? Let me know down below. If you guys own any of these fragrances, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.